A Confederate museum full of hatred and foolishness has fallen. In Fort Branch, North Carolina, Confederate Earthworks Museum, baby, they took a tumble. They were building this museum of hate and racism and just grossness. And God said, not so fast. A tree knocked down the entire museum. It's a complete and total loss. They did not have insurance. They cannot pass go or collect $200. Okay? Look at God. I love that. I love that. You know, I really do. You can never win when you play dirty. But God is able. Like, share, comment below. Follow the page.
Yo, Black Americans, our ancestors are moving. There's a Confederate museum called Fort Branch. The Fort Branch Museum that had a tree fall on it. You look at what happened with freaking Nottoway with that fire, and now this. Do you know what our ancestors were called? The black descendants of American slaves? We were called root workers. We were known to make the earth move. We could speak things into existence. Do you really think this is a coincidence? Because I don't think it is a coincidence when a tree, which is, we are known to be root workers. We are known to work with the roots. We are known to make the roots obey us, crushes a Confederate museum. That is our ancestors saying, oh, y'all want to start some mess, white supremacists, with our freaking descendants? All right, bet. And now the official account for the historical Fort Branch is saying it is a total loss. White supremacy is taking L's left and right, baby. Shout out to the ancestors for making the earth move.
A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. And today, as usual, you know how we do it here. We do it, of course, the African way. And you ever witness something so powerful, so poetic, that it feels like the universe itself is speaking? Well, that's exactly how many Black Americans are reacting right now to the destruction of the Fort Branch Confederate Museum in North Carolina, a building ripped from its foundation by a falling tree. Not a protest, not a lawsuit, not even a vote, just nature, earth, roots, and of course, ancestors. And to some, it's just an old building, lost to bad weather, but to others, to us, it's something deeper, a powerful, symbolic act, a reckoning, a cosmic that enough is enough. You see, that museum wasn't just a place of history. It was a shrine to a story that has left generations of Black people bleeding in silence. A story told through the lens of Confederate nostalgia, where slavery gets buried in a Civil War uniforms and battlefield maps. But not this time, because this time it was the tree that told the story. And if you ask many in our community, in the Black community, that tree wasn't just falling, it was sent. Now, guys, listen up. This is what we're going to talk about today. Not the destruction, but the divine disruption. So stay with me because I am going to unpack each and everything about this story. I'll be back with my further analysis.
All people out there who believe in the supernatural, let me tell you what's happening in this country. Our ancestors are causing in Black America. Let me offer you some proof. All the major elements have been hit. The fire at Nottoway, that's fire. The white man who was found in Lake Lanier, that's water. The tree falling on the Confederate Museum, that's earth. The tornadoes that's been blowing down mostly non-Black areas, that's wind. The lightning that just struck the police vehicle in Oklahoma, that's lightning. That's all the elements. I've had visions, and let me tell you, it's gonna get 10 times worse. Our ancestors are on a spiritual fucking rampage right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but you may want to turn on your TV. Because the next time it actually comes around, it's going to be 10 times worse. They are demanding we be treated correctly and given reparations for what we've been through. Just saying.
Listen here. I keep telling y'all the ancestors ain't playing. A Confederate museum called Fort Branch Museum in North Carolina has been demolished by a tree where they lynched us. What you know about that? Destroyed. Uh-huh. So Nottoway is gone. And now this mother is gone. It's a great day to be. It's a great day to be. This is a spiritual war. Bump the religious stuff. This is a spiritual war. I believe that everything that's been taken is coming back. And in order for that to happen, things got to shut down. It got to shut down so we can gain back. That's how I feel. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But that's how I feel. And they're asking for donations to rebuild. And I'm going to say it again. Like I said in the last video. Workers, get to work. No. No. No.
Y'all thought the Nottoway Plantation fire was the end of the message. But baby, God said, I ain't done yet, because just this week, a whole tree, a big one, done fell on the Fort Branch Confederate Museum down in North Carolina. And guess what? No insurance, no backup plan, no divine coverage, just wreckage. And while they out there crying and asking for donations, the rest of us looking up like, keep working, Lord. Because this is what happens when you build monuments on the backs of broken people. This is what happens when you preserve hate and call it heritage. This is what happens when you ignore the cries of justice and dare to put up a flag for oppression. God said it in the Word. You won't even have to fight. I'll fight for you. And baby, he's swinging heavy right now. Plantations, museums, gone with the wind and a holy vengeance. So if you still out here holding on to Confederate flags, lying to your children about Southern pride, just know God's outside and he brought the weather. Let this be a word to every system, every building, every bitter root still standing on stolen land. God is busy, and we are not in the way. Message delivered. Mama Solange, Divine.
What does DJ Colin say? Another one. So y'all, this one has been like swept underneath the carpet, but probably because it's not our local news, but I just dug up something. Another building has been destroyed. On April 12th, 2025, before the Nottoway Plantation was burnt to the ground, okay? The Fort Branch Confederate Museum in North Carolina was destroyed. Not by protest, not by fire. This time, Mother Nature used a tree. And I know you're like, a tree? Well, no. It was a massive tree. Crashed down during a storm and wiped out the entire building. A place built to preserve Confederate history, gone in one unexpected swipe. And what's wild, this barely made headlines. No major news cycles, no national coverage, just quietly swept underneath the rug like it never happened. I'm pretty sure the townspeople, wherever it is, I know they know, but we all don't know. So why? Maybe because this wasn't a loss to everyone. Like everyone don't care about this, but this museum sat on land that once defended Confederate ideas, like during the Civil War. And while some called it history, others saw it as a monument to racism. Let that sink in. So do you think it was just a storm? Or do you believe, like many say, that this was Mother Nature? I agree, is doing what should have been done a long time ago. Wipe this shit off the map. Okay, what y'all think? I think I got some pictures too. Here they go.
I usually mind my business, y'all, but I know y'all been seeing how all these Confederate and white supremacist shit been burned to the ground, trees falling on that shit. Y'all karma just getting started. Who would have ever thought in the same week the largest plantation and a museum, they was actually trying to build a museum? Like, y'all really be proud of the evil ass shit y'all be doing to people? Y'all bold enough to build a museum? Like, hey, we are proud we enslaved your people and buck broke your men and we ate y'all and put y'all up in smokehouses. We are so proud of this. Yeah, we're the superior race. We stole everything. We rewrote your history. Like, what kind of pieces of shit are y'all? Like, I'll never understand. But like I said, hey, the universe is doing what it's doing. In 1 week, 2 big major white supremacy monuments destroyed. And not by our hand, by the hand of the Most High, the Almighty. Like, imagine the natural earth rejecting how evil white supremacies are. Like, y'all's whole history, everything y'all stand for is just pure hatred and evil. Now imagine the actual earth fighting against you. Oh. Like, black people ain't even have to do nothing. The earth is fighting for us. Mother Earth. We love you, Mother Earth. I can't imagine a natural habitat literally rejecting you, your ideologies, these monuments of wickedness that y'all have propped up are being destroyed. Something to think about, man. Seems like you guys' time is just up.
So let me get this straight. First, it was the Nottoway Plantation that burned to the motherfucking ground, right? And so everybody's saying that's the work of the ancestors. Okay, cool. But now, a Confederate museum in North Carolina just got destroyed by a big ass tree that's been around since the 1800s. Interesting. I think, like, the movie Sinners started a different type of awareness within our people that made us start to acknowledge our ancestors a little bit more than usual. But it's not just that. It's a new shift going on, and the ancestors is tired because they tired of America. They still fucking with their descendants, okay? And I just feel like it's just getting started, baby. This is just the beginning. It's going to be more historical artifacts that was built on the backs and blood, sweat, and tears of African American slaves that's going to get fucked up this year. And then the biggest lie is the fact that they wanted us to believe racism is over. You know, we're in a new day and age. Ain't none of that happening no more. But that situation with that lady, Shiloh Hendricks, getting all that money for calling a little child the N-word, I feel like that woke something up in in the ancestors, in the spirit realm. Enough is a fucking enough, okay? And I'm here for a bitch. I can only imagine what it feels like to work hard as hell for years and years, don't get paid, and then get treated badly as well. You can at least treat them nice if you're going to make them work for fucking free and shit. And now you want to be brutal. You want it to be evil. And this is why they want you to think that honoring your ancestors is demonic work. All the while, they want us to honor their ancestors. That's why those dead presidents is on money and motherfuckers worship money. Okay? Yeah. Now, I don't think this is a fucking coincidence. First, the biggest plantation in the South burns down. Now, a Confederate museum. Okay.
Well. Looks like the let's see, the aliens. No, not the aliens. The falling angels. Yeah. Yes, our ancestors. They're here. They've been here, but they're definitely the fuck turned up right now on y'all. The museum building at Fort Branch, North Carolina. Confederate earthworks. That piece of shit has been knocked the fuck down, and the ancestors are activated, baby. The spirit is finna knock down all that shit. Y'all about to see, and if your ass ain't woke, you about to be woke. Hey, everybody. We're the friends that you know time. And when you hear me, oh, baby, won't you sing now? I got this thing in my daddy said that.
First, we had the Nottoway Plantation burning down, and now we have the Confederate Earthworks Museum in Fort Branch, North Carolina, collapsing to the ground due to a falling tree. We love to see it. They were not insured, so it's a complete total loss, and they will not be rebuilding. I think that everything, the way things are going spiritually or energetically, I feel like you guys need to be getting ready for more L's because we're just on that type of time these days. I don't know what's going on, but I love to see it. So yeah, all those artifacts, all that history, all of that stuff is damaged, it's gone, good. It should have been kept. I know it's all about history and all that, but girl, you don't do that about history. You're just trying to, you just want to keep around these fucking relics that are, I don't know, just negativity around you. I don't know. But yeah, we love to see it, and we need to see more of that. Just get ready for Juneteenth because it's going to be a celebration. Enjoy. Yeah. Anyway, we need more of it. You're welcome.
Please tell me y'all seen that Confederate museum that was destroyed by a tree. All that hatred they had up in that museum. I'm talking about Confederate flags and basically Confederate things everywhere. But guess what God did? God destroyed it with a big tree. I'm talking about a big tree. Destroyed the whole museum. It looked like God took his hand, put it on top of that building like this, and crushed it all up until it looked like a soda can crumbled up in somebody's hand. God not playing with y'all, bro. The Most High God of Israel is not playing with y'all no more. I don't know what y'all don't get. The Most High God is not playing with y'all. All that hate that y'all have to give, coming right back to y'all 10 times fold. I hope you know that.
As a collective, Black people said we're resting. We're not joining this fight anymore. We chilling. And our ancestors said, don't worry, we got it. I'm loving this for us right now.
A fallen tree took down an entire museum. That's dramatic, of course, but for many of the Black voices, it was not just weather, it was ancestral warfare. a form of spiritual root work, an earth level protest from ones who lived, died, and still fight through the black people. Some folks in that video believe that the ancestors are activated, like really activated. They say the spirits of those enslaved, those beaten, those buried without names are finally swinging back. And how? With the very elements that built this country: fire, wind, and water. But now we are talking about truth, so let that sink in. A museum that glorified the Confederacy, the same Confederacy that fought to keep black people in chains, was crushed by nature itself. That's not just iron, that's poetic justice. And do not forget, just weeks ago, the Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana went up in flames, gone. Another symbol of white supremacy evaporated. So here's what's happening. Some people are saying that what human protests and legislations haven't been able to do, the earth, the universe, and our ancestors are going to do it on their own. They are rejecting these false monuments, tearing them down, and demanding the truth. Nothing but the truth. This is not just about a tree, it's about the rot at the root. Now, as I come to the end of this video, let's talk about why this moment is so significant and so emotional for Black Americans. For years, we've been told to move on, to forget the past. But how can we forget what's still hurting us even today? The Fort Branch Museum, like for so many Confederate sites, never told the whole story. It didn't talk about the people who built the forts, who bled in those fields, who were enslaved to make that land profitable. Instead, it gave us cannons and uniforms and silence. So when that tree fell, it felt like an answer, a response to decades, no centuries of erasure, a reminder that nature, spirit, and justice, don't forget that even if the media won't talk about it, even if history books won't teach it, the earth remembers. This isn't about erasing history. It's about confronting it and telling the truth. Because when we see that tree on the rubble of that museum, we don't see loss, we see legacy, right? We see our ancestors who were root workers, literally, people who knew how to make the earth move, who understood the power of the soil, who left us with more than just blood. They left us with the spirit. And that spirit is moving. It's not coincidence that some folks are saying that the ancestors are on a rampage, that this is a spiritual war. Because when you strip people of justice long enough, justice starts to move in ways that can't be explained through logic alone. Now, some say it's God. Some say it's the universe. And even some say it's the soil itself crying out. So, either way, this is the big, this is bigger than just a tree. This is about the unhealed wounds of slavery, about systemic racism, about how past refuses to stay barren when the truth still lies above the ground. And maybe, just maybe, the destruction of that museum isn't the end of something. Maybe it is the beginning of something new. Are you conquering with me? A call to tear down false legacies, to rebuild the truth, to listen when the roots speak, and to finally honor the ancestors, not just with words, but with justice. Guys, Thank you for watching this video. Let us meet in my next episode. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to comment.